بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله الناصح الأمين. اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. ثم أما بعد. Ya ibadullah, we have to change the way that we think. عن أوس رضي الله تعالى عنه قال: سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول. He said, I heard the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم saying, من غسل يوم الجمعة واغتسل وبكر وابتكر ومشى ولم يركب ودنا من الإيمان فاستمع ولم يلغ كان له بكل خطوة عمل سنة أجر صيامه وقيامه. حديث صححه الألباني ورواه الترمذي وأبو داود والنسائي وابن ماجه وغيرهم. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said that I want us to pay very close attention to the words of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He said, whoever washes on the day of Jumu'ah and they shower, they come early and they are present in the beginning time, they walk and they do not ride, they draw near to the Imam, they listen attentively, and they are not distracted from that, nor do they talk, then they will have for each step the actions of a year, the reward of one who has fasted it and standeth its nights in prayer. This hadith has been collected by Imam al-Turmadi and Abu Dawood, Imam Abu Dawood, and Imam al-Nisa'i, and Imam ibn Majah, and it was graded as authentic by Imam al-Albani. Before pondering over what is necessary to implement the likes of this hadith, let us look to the meanings of it, bidnillahi ta'ala, so that we can understand a little better. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, من غسل يوم الجمعة, that whoever غسل يوم الجمعة. The ulama, they explain that what is meant by غسل يوم الجمعة معناه أي غسل رأسه, that it means that they wash their hair. They wash their hair on the day of Jumu'ah. The ulama, they mention that there are three possibilities that enter into what is the meaning of غسل here in this context. The first of them is as mentioned, that they wash their hair or they wash their head. Also, what is understood from it is غسل من الجنابة, that they take a ghusl from sexual impurity or from the janaba that comes out or after having relations with one spouse. So this is an encouragement to what? To have relations with one spouse on the day of Jumu'ah. And then they take a ghusl, so this enters into that meaning. For those who are not married, because the washing of the head will suffice them, and it will enter also into that meaning. And also what enters into the meaning, which will also suffice those married and those not married, a tawaddu, that they make wudu. They make wudu on the day of Jumu'ah, meaning inside of their homes, and then they go out to Jumu'ah. And what is meant by waghtasala, what is meant by ightasala, that they wash all of the body. Na'am, is that they wash all of the body. Sa'ir al-jasad, or just that they wash all the body. They take a complete shower, they take a ghusl. Na'am, they take a ghusl. So this will cover the ones who are married, the ones who are not married, and the like. The ones who are married, and you are encouraged to take your ghusl. Na'am, the ghusl of janaba and the ghusl of jumu'ah. For those who are not married, then of course you have only one option, that is the ghusl for jumu'ah. Walillahi alhamd. Na'am. But anyway, I want you to reflect on this. Reflect on a situation that will exist that will make this easy for you to do. Likewise, bakkara. Qala Imam al-Nawawi, what is intended by this particular word, because you find that these words, they come in there similar in their meaning. Bakkara wa btakara. Na'am. They're very similar in their meaning, but there is a distinction. Imam al-Nawawi, he mentions that what is meant by bakkara, raha fi awwal al-waqt, that they go in the first time of Jumu'ah. Now, that they don't come late to Jumu'ah, but they come in the first time of Jumu'ah. This is a praiseworthy thing, and there's a lot of reward attached to coming to Jumu'ah early. Now, so I want you to reflect on what will be needed to come to Jumu'ah early. وَابْتَكَرَ, and they come in the early time, أَدْرَكَ أَوَّلْ khutbah, meaning that they come in the early time of the khutbah, so that they're there to hear the whole of the khutbah. Na'am. And I want you to also reflect on what is needed to implement the likes of this coming early for the khutbah. Na'am. طيب. وَمَشَى وَلَمْ يَرْكَبْ, and they walk to Jumu'ah and they do not ride to Jumu'ah. Na'am. They walk to the Jumu'ah and they do not ride to Jumu'ah. Again, I want you to reflect on those set of circumstances that will enable you to implement this hadith. Also, وَدَنَا مِنَ الْإِمَامِ, and they draw and they come close to the Imam, أي قَرُبَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ حَثُّ عَلَى تَحْصِيلِ فَضْلِ الصَّفِّ الْأَوَّلِ. Now, that they draw near to the Imam. Why? They come close to the Imam, and this is an encouragement for them, so that they are able to reach the first row, so that they're able to pray inside of the first row. Because the first row for the men is the best row. The last row for the men is the worst. The first row for the men is the best row. The last row for the men is the worst row. Na'am. فَاسْتَمَعَ, that they listen attentively. They listen attentively. وَلَمْ يَلْغُوا, and they do not يَلْغُوا, لَغَى يَلْغُوا لَغْوًا, that they do not speak. They do not become preoccupied on listening to the khutbah, but they pay very close attention to the khutbah. وقال Imam al-Nawawi rahmatullah alayhi, he says, معناه لم يتكلم. The meaning is that they do not speak. The meaning, they do not speak. وكان له بكل خطوة, and he will have for every khutbah, خطوة بضم الخاء. ما معنى الخطوة? What is the meaning of khutbah? It means يعني بعد ما بين القدمين. It is the distance between the two legs, or the 2 feet. That is khutbah, a footstep. So for every footstep, they will have what? عامل السنة أجر صيامها وقيامها, that they will have the reward of a year for the one who fasted every day of that year and the one who stood up in prayer every night of that year. They will have this great reward for doing what? By implementing this hadith and doing what was mentioned inside of this hadith. So, is there anyone from amongst us except that they will want and desire the like of this great and tremendous reward? Then we will have to do that which is mentioned inside of this particular hadith. which leads us to why I open by saying we have to change the way that we think. هذا أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولجميع المسلمين فاستغفروه فإنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. يا عباد الله, we have to change the way that we think. Our economic and social situation, it should be molded by ibadah. It should be molded by worship. And it should not be the other way around, that we strive to fit the ibadah in to our economical situation and into our social situation. It should not be the case that a Muslim has to retrofit his life or retrofit her life to include ibadah, but rather the Muslim's life should be centered around ibadah. So I want us to reflect on our situation here as Muslims living in the West. I want us to reflect on our situation. And there are a number of factors that I want us to take into mind and to consider. In light of this hadith and wanting to get the reward that is mentioned therein, I want you to consider the situation that will enable and help an individual in order to attain this hadith. First of all, look at the factor. How far are the homes from the masajid? Or look at the placement of the masajid. And you will find therein is a problem. Because in order to implement the likes of this hadith, walking and not riding, this will mean that the masjid has to be within walking distance of our homes. That the masjid, it should be in walking distance of our homes. There are many masajid in America, many beautiful masajid in America. And when you look at the placement of these masajid, you see that there is a lack of vision. There is a lack of vision. Now, at certain times, no doubt, the masajid are placed in place that they are placed out of necessity because they don't have the means to go anywhere else. But we're not mentioning those masajid, are we? We're talking about those lofty masajid, those who have a chandelier more than what it costs to rent this whole place for 1 year. So with such resources, why is the masjid put in such a place that you have to have a car to get there? Does that make sense? Is that conducive for the sustainability of our Islam here in this country? No, it is not. No, it is not. So this is something that we need to reflect on. Also, what we need to reflect on, and we need to change the way that we think, is that when you look at that which was mentioned inside of this hadith, coming early to Jumu'ah. Now, making the ghusl at home and so on and so forth. Now, people can do that, even if they come to Jumu'ah, whatever time they make it to Jumu'ah. But coming early to Jumu'ah, coming there, making sure that we are there for the beginning of the khutbah, so on and so forth. Now, this situation, as we all know, is very difficult. Why? Because we are trapped working for the kuffar. And I want to put it like that and leave it like that. That we are trapped working for the kuffar. This is an encouragement for us to take ownership of our economic situation. To strive for economic independence. Why? So we have the ease of worshiping Allah, the ease of practicing our religion. So we have to change the way that we think. We have to change our mindset and our mentality. It is not sufficient, it is not enough that we just find good paying jobs. But we need to be of those who are making our own industry. making our own jobs, employing ourselves and seeking to employ others. From the Muslims first and foremost, and then whoever else is qualified for a job that we need and we can't find a Muslim to fill that position. We should be striving to employ ourselves and to seek to employ others. Those who have the ability to do this. Those who have the knowledge and the know-how and the skill to do this. Now, not everybody will have the knowledge and the know-how to skill to do this. So we're not saying that everyone has to become an entrepreneur. But we should be striving and encouraging our entrepreneurs, and we should be supporting their businesses. So the Muslims should be supporting the Muslim businesses so that those businesses are sustainable and that they last and that they stay around. Why? Because as individuals who have to work who are not entrepreneurs, then we will have to seek employment with someone else. So this is why we need Muslim businesses to be there so that we can put our applications in with them. So thus we have to change our mentality and how we think. Don't go to school thinking that you're going to develop skills by way in which you go and you work in corporate America. No, that doesn't benefit us as a community. What benefits us as a community is that we exchange our money amongst ourselves. What benefits us as a community is that we have ownership of what we need to live in society. So if you have to go to a mechanic, your mechanic is Muslim. If you have to go to get your hair cut, your barber is Muslim. If you have to go to a doctor, your doctor is Muslim. If you have to go to a bakery, your bakery is Muslim. If you have to go to a supermarket, your supermarket is Muslim, owned by the Muslims, where our money is circulated amongst ourselves. This will bring to us independence. This will bring to us power economically. But every time that we take our money and we hand it to other than ourselves, then that money leaves our community. That money does not benefit us. That money goes to benefit them and whatever they're going to do with their money. Do you understand what I'm saying? How many people complain, this company gives money to this country we don't like. This one gives money to that country and support these things that are against the Muslims, so on and so forth. Well, who's to blame? You're buying their product. Who's to blame? Bring forth an alternative. Bring forth something that is owned by us where we utilize the money to benefit the human beings. Do that. Instead of complaining about someone else, take that energy and put it into action. So you don't got to worry about buying their beverage. Because you have your own line of beverages. You don't have to worry about buying their product because you have your own product. We have to change the way that we think. Because if not, how are we going to implement this hadith? How are you going to come early? Your boss is going to give you off every Jumu'ah. Some people, alhamdulillah, they make that, that's their schedule. Sunday to Thursday, they're off Jumu'ah, they're off Yom Sabt. Alhamdulillah. But is that the situation for everybody? Is that the situation for most people? No, most brothers come to Jumu'ah when? In their lunch break. That's why they pick and choose. Don't go to that masjid. They give khutbah for like 45 minutes. Anybody got time to listen to all that? They want to come over here. Why? They give khutbah short. They can be in, out, still get something to eat, go back to work. SubhanAllah. But if we have our own businesses that are successful, that are thriving, then as a Muslim, we don't have to open our business until after Jumu'ah. Period. Take the whole morning off. Everyone has half day on Jumu'ah. Or if you want to work in the morning and take the rest of the day off, whatever fits your business model best, but we can do whatever we want to do because we own the business. And if your business is one of quality, if your products are one of quality, trust me, your patrons, they will wait for you to open. They will wait. So you have to make sure that you're providing a good service, good product, honest, integrity, so on and so forth. Your patrons will come. Don't worry about that. This way, we make it easy for the Muslims. Jumu'ah, you don't have to have that conversation. The Eid, you don't have to have that conversation. Can I have all for the Eid? How do you feel going to HR? Can I have all for Eid Fitr? Or it might be this day, it might be that day, depends on, huh? How many times you had to have that conversation? You understand? You don't have to ask because you're already off on that day. No one's working on that day. That day is holiday. You see? We have to change the way that we think. Don't go to school to work for nobody else. Go to school to work for yourself. If you can't work for yourself, then go to school to work for a Muslim. Go to school to work for a Muslim business in a Muslim industry. But you Muslim employees, let me tell you, you got to treat your employees good. Not that akhi stuff when it comes time to get paid. Oh, akh, understand. No, akh got bills like you got bills. Pay the brother. Pay him a good wage. Don't try to undercut him. Pay him good. Honesty, integrity, so on and so forth. All those good things, you have to implement them across the board. We have to do better. You want better? Do better. Aqimus Salah.